Hey YouTube, Dread Joker here, and today is a bit of a special one. Because what you see here is not the 2.0. This is the 1.0 of the Gundam Mark II. And before we really get into this review, I'm going to show you the manuals real quick, because I also have the 2.0. And so 2.0 manual. I just want to briefly touch on this subject real quick. So let me just get my tripod slid back here so I can get a better framed shot of these manuals, because you're not going to believe this. So starting up, let's just go and look at the body construction here. This is for the 2.0. I mean, look, everything is all spelled out so clean and comfortably. Number one, this is not the one. This is and is not the 1.0. This is the 1.0, but it's not the standard one, because I got my hands on this, the Super Gundam. I picked this up on eBay for about 80 bucks. For a 4,000 yen kit, that is extremely terrible pricing, considering this kit is 22 years old. You can tell, you can feel that. G-Flyer. It's got some interesting everything. So we start off, manual's like, okay, this isn't so bad. We're just working on the G Defensor first. We've got nice product shots of the G-Flyer, again, the Defensor, all the product information. Turn the page, another one, not so problem. We turn the page again. We start with a chaotic mess, then we turn the page once more. For the love of God, make sense of this. Because I almost went blind trying to make sense of this. Look at this. You can see the parts are numbered. And this is where you have to pay really close attention to these symbols up here, because they will designate left or right and wrong. And it has very interesting connection methods for the shins. So it's totally different. You'd never expect it. Some areas constructed very similarly, others not so much. Now, I'm just going to straight up say this. Because this kit is from 1998, so I was 3 when this kit came out, I'm going to put all judgment of it aside for the time. That being said, I have not applied any of the cables to it. Why have I not applied any of the cables to it? It's a shoelace. They give you a shoelace. Here's the weird part, though. This shoelace would go and just plug up. Okay, let's zoom here so you can see what I'm doing. You would plug it up over here. Here's the weird thing. On this, it works right. But every other kit I've ever had this material on, it must not have been made correctly, because it doesn't work at all. I have tried to keep the detailing on this minimum. Like, I did the bare minimum for the detailing. So once again, the black lines you see, they are not there normally. So that's me with a Gundam marker. Articulation on this thing, despite being 22 years old, I cannot believe I am saying this. In some areas, this is better than the 2.0. So right here, here's one of them. So look, arms barely go up. That's not really the selling point. This is, though. Shoulders, look at that drop. That is a good drop. These arms have really good play in them. No forward sweeping, so that's a bit of a negative, but also a positive in one area. Again, 22 years old. Look at that elbow. 22 years old. And look at that elbow. Bandai was flexing at this point. They were doing something right. Something really right here. The hips, I think we've got variable position. No, we do not. These are standard hips. Ball jointed, but it's ball jointed with a thigh rotation. So let me zoom back out so you can see what I'm talking about. So you've got a ball joint up in there. But it's separated. So it's a ball joint and a ball joint and a peg and a ball joint, but it got weird, okay? The hips, moving the skirting. Unfortunately, this is as far forward as the skirting comes. So it cannot do the full splits. Back skirting is paralyzed, which is ironic because it almost goes further back than it does forward. Comes forward about 45 degrees with a total of 90 at the knee. That's a grand total. So this, the legs, definitely not one of the selling points on this thing, but for being 20 years old, this, I'm sorry, 22 years old, so it's a, not only is it legal, it can drink. Which is nice, because when I was building this kit, I almost wanted to start drinking. The cockpit opens super simply, and you always want to do the top panel, then the bottom panel. And then, when you open it, you just pull the top panel. Why do you do this? In here, and I don't know how well this is showing up on camera, so let's zoom in here. You see that itty-bitty peg in there? Well, that itty-bitty peg just happens to collide with this lip here. So this was brilliantly designed. Really makes me want to get my hands on the perfect grade even more. I personally do not give a damn which version I get my hands on because they come with the exact same amount of stuff. I just think the AUG version would mark less in terms of nubs. Now, there is no undergating on this. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Undergating did not exist at this time. This also predated the perfect grades, I believe, by exactly 1 year. So, in terms of accessories with this kit, not counting the defensor itself, we get the shield, and I gotta say, for, again, a 22-year-old kit, this shield is very detailed. Just pay no mind to the engineering on it. Because it does still do the gimmick, except unlike the 2.0s, you pull the shield all the way down and it's attached to a pellet cap here, and there's two pegs. So to slide it, you actually slide it down, peg, hole, goes together like that. Super secure. It works really, it does everything it needs to do. You've got the ECAP storage back here, so I guess that's good, but you'll never really change them because it is horribly hard to change. It can only be mounted backwards, but you know what? I mean, for Zeta Gundam, that was pretty much how they mounted their shields anyways, so not the end of the world. So, right there, there's some good accuracy. I'm also going to say one thing. The proportions on this are actually really good. I'd say the proportions on this are a little better than on the 2.0, but the 2.0 has certainly less problem areas. But we'll get to that when I do that review next, because that's going to be tomorrow's review. And we're going to have some words about that. Get it balanced a little bit. We also get the Vulcan pod. Getting this one attached to the 1.0 is a bit of a challenge. The 2.0 did this much better. However, I do believe that the antenna is shorter on this one. Excuse me, I got a bit of a case of the sniffles today. For the rifle, there is a bit of a negative. The scope only comes in straight clear. So there's no sticker, no nothing. You're going to have to color that yourself. Getting it to hold the rifle is pretty simple. These are old school hands, similar to the Ground Gundam. And by similar, I mean damn near identical. So getting it into the hands is no problem. Getting it to hold it straight, however, is, because this is not a weapon that was ever designed to be aimed straight. And right as I say that, it decides to work. Also included in this kit, we get his bazooka. Now, I'm just going to jump ahead a little bit to a segment of tomorrow's review. So to show you everything that's not color accurate on this, here's the 2.0s. Can you see the problem? This thing is really not accurate. Also, compared to the 2.0, it does not have a sticker or anything for the scope on the bazooka. It's just color it yourself. Speaking of coloring it yourself, on the chest, you might notice those cameras are filled in. Even on the 2.0, they do not give you stickers for these. What I had to do was take the metallic green Gundam marker and pray it did not leak like it did last time. Which is how I found out that the Gundam marker removers are fantastic for almost everything. So if you're cleaning up styrene putty, etc., like the Tamiya putties, or however you prefer to say the word, Tamiya, the styrene putty they manufacture can be cleaned up with a Gundam marker remover. Because what is in the remover is basically pure alcohol with a very, very, very light amount of acetone. I'm talking like a 99-to-1 mixture for the acetone level. So we've got 99% alcohol to that 1% to the 1% acetone. So it works. It does very well at getting the stuff out of there. Now, on this old kit, we also get a new style. Well, I say new, but compared to the way they are now, this is incredibly different. So here you see the ammo magazine for the bazooka. You might be thinking, okay, well, what makes this so different from the other ones? Well, it has the slider in the middle, so when you hook it on, the tab on the other side completely goes away. I really wish they would have continued that for the 2.0, because now we've got these two things on the side of the ammo pack here, and I actually think the old one is smaller, which is good in this regard, because it's less obtrusive. Unfortunately, that's not really going to help it in this case, because this wrist is pretty much the exact same one that the Ground Gundam has, and it's pretty much paralyzed. This handle does not move. This is two pieces of plastic sandwiched down with a barrel tip at the end. So this is, the bazooka itself is technically 3 pieces of plastic, and the ammo pack is 4 pieces of plastic. So overall, 7 pieces just for this one weapon, which it natively barely holds. This is one of those bazookas where it has, if you're going to put it in its hand, it's going to be underslung the entire time just due to design. I'm not much of a bazooka person, so this isn't going to affect me much. Now, getting into the bulk of this kit, and I really do have to say bulk, I have elected to keep this panel off, because this is where I get to start an argument. It's called Bandai being Bandai, as usual. Let's bring in the G-Fly, or the G-Defensor. This thing is fucking massive. This thing takes up a good 30% of the box. This was also only about 5 runners, if you can believe it. So, of this, the sticker stickers on this kit, the majority are right here. So all this blue you see on the wings, these are two giant wraparound style stickers. I found a way to secure them better, and I'm gonna say this, for a 22-year-old kit, the adhesive on these is still fantastic. So the seller I got it on eBay from, I cannot remember their information. It was New Type something. It was not the site New Type. It was New Type something else. Whatever you did to keep this kit in such pristine condition, I wish you would share that information with me. I would love to see if I could follow suit so I could keep my kits as well maintained as you have for the last ever. So there are a lot of polycaps on this. And starting off with, every bit of chrome you see on this kit was me. I used a chrome pen, like it's essentially the liquid chrome markers. I used one of those on this because otherwise the vents are so drab and the detail is very minimal in sections. Which is why, like, the yellow you see here on both sides, stickers. Stickers here. Sticker here for the camera, obviously. The black here, stickers. There's red inside of down here, stickers. This thing is really sticker heavy for a master grade, but this is also a 22-year-old master grade, so we're letting that slide. We are really letting that one slide, considering they haven't printed this very often. In fact, this is where the argument starts. They future-proofed the 2.0. Because the 2.0 was made with this exact kit in mind. And they're basically refusing to print this. And anytime Bandai is essentially refusing to print something, well, you all know where I'm going with this argument. It means they're planning something premium Bandai down the line, and I swear to God, they are planning this. Because this kit, the last printing of this kit I saw was, like, I think it was 10 years ago. So, good luck getting your hands on it, that's all I'm going to say. I did find a premium Bandai version of this. Straight up, when I say premium Bandai, this is the old one. This is the mechanical clear one. I will not disclose where I found it. All I can tell you is I do plan on picking it up. And I do not plan on building it anytime soon because I want to keep my sanity and my eyes working. So, getting into the detail on the G-Defensor, there are parts that move. And I am not making this up. You can pull the manual on this. You'll see the side of the box. This part right here, this gigantic skid plate, or spoiler, whatever you want to call it, is referred to on the box as the stabilator. Not stabilizer, stabilator. You know, I really shouldn't be surprised. I mean, the Master Grade gun cannon from this time had a Corbrock. Yeah, it had a Corbrock. Corbrock! But getting into the features this thing has, so I'm just going to disconnect the flyer up front. So it does have the same features it does in the anime, so you can move these fins up. And seriously, somebody tell me, in the back of your head, if this were blue, am I the only one hearing F-Zero's music in the back of my head? Like, I'm hearing Big Blue or Mute City. So, again, chromed out parts there. And the vents. All me with it was specifically the Molotov liquid chrome 1mm tip marker. The 1mm is your best friend. There is a high chance that you could get I have gone through 2 of them. The first one I have, the chrome part, the tip, basically broke and refused to start printing. So I did have a quality control issue there. That was just one, though. My other one has been going strong. So this one does have an opening thing. You can open it and see the pilot figure. of cots in there. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is not... When it came to pilot figures, definition was not on their list of priorities. So finally, a company that gets it. If you're not going to display the kit open, why bother defining the part? So we're going to set this off to the side for now, and I'm just going to return this to its default position. Whenever you're moving these, if you can get your hands on it, always hold here to move these. Because there is a poly cap in here that really squeezes these parts, and this section is just held on by 2 pegs. So it might try to come apart on you. So just set the Blue Falcon wannabe off to the side. And we'll bring in the rest of the Defensor so I can give you a look at it. Again, chrome parts, me. This thing is huge. Let me just take the BFG off the side. And this was quite a build. This is a column A, column B thing. It's a nice gun. Truly is. It's very lightweight, so holding it can be done. However, you might be here all day waiting for it. I applied chrome into the vents here again, too. Why? Felt like it. These sections back here are supposed to be black with red lining these vents. I do not have any paint that works at the moment, so I did not attempt to even do that. So to transform it all, number one, you got even more moving parts. You've got these sections down here for, I guess these are the landing gear. Or landing skiffs, I guess. So, they did think this out a lot. The wings fold up. They're on a poly cap back here, nothing up front. It's a really well thought out kit. Somebody, whatever engineer at Bandai designed this, I want to commend you. I also would like to request that you guys print this kit more and not screw everybody over by releasing just this as a premium Bandai add-on and changing nothing. This by itself would sell as a standard release. This would sell like hotcakes. This would sell as well as the Core Booster add-on does for the Build Strike Master Grade. It would sell immediately. But transforming this, you slide these parts back to free up the locks so that you can slide this whole assembly out. Joint here, there's a rotation here, there's a rotation here, and a joint here. Again, oh, also a joint here. Very well thought out. The rotation here is locked by this peg, or this tab right back here. So it's really only supposed to rotate at this section here, which is not bad. So this whole section slides here, and for when it's in its docked mode, it slides back. So getting it into its docked mode, first you want to bring this tab section on the bottom all the way up. Pray to God that you can actually get this thing to work. So let's just get this side set up. Slide these forward. Get these set back. Open these tabs here. Rotate and fold back. Because these do serve an important purpose in one form only. You might think these are landing gear. No. Nope. Those are docking clamps. So now we get to reach back here and knock the rifle out of his hand, which was barely held in there in the first place, so just set that down. Take the shield off. Rotate arms, close hands. Keep arms straight. For simplicity's sake, bring the beam saber holders and the thruster assembly forward. Tab, hole. We will get it inserted. Then you take the lock and bring it down. Without it, there is literally nothing holding that in there. Now, we've got the kit looking superimposing. So what we want to do is bring the arm up a little bit so that we can bring this part down. See, I did tell you it serves a certain purpose. It's to hold the legs in place. So bring these forward now. Attempt to lay it down on its stomach, which just barely clears the ground now. Get the stabulator straightened out. Take the polycap, attach to there again. Be careful of the okay, so one bit of note, you might have to squeeze the part back together first. It is not mentioned in the manual to take it off for this part, as you should really only do it when you're doing the other form. It's Super Gundam form. But then you've got the whole thing docked like this. Take the BFG and slot it right in on the side. Now, being old, there is no action-based connector, and with all this heft, you really don't want to get this thing airborne very long. This thing is freaking massive. In fact, if I had to give this thing a scale rating now, with its total height, this is factoring in the height of that beam cannon. It is the size of your average perfect grade. That is nuts. Total height to the cannon. That is insanely nuts. Now to transform to Super Gundam, simply take the bottom segment here, bring it up and fold that. Grab the Blue Falcon wannabe. And I'm just going to lay this down so my incredibly rare kit does not take a nosedive. Bring the fins back up if you put them down. This section opens. This is for the transformation too. It's just to seal off the sensor. It's like, hey, I gave you a little extra shielding there. Cool. Now, take the BFG, take it off, set it to the side. Take the binders, fold them out, arm up, off, rotate, fold, then take the entire assembly, slide it up. Rotate the arm back down, and I forgot to mention, in the boxes here, we also do have missiles, and these are all individual parts in here. And they are all wrong. They had red parts on this kit, right here. And I get that they released this, the first part, the 1.0 first, and then they did this later, as like the big, hey, gotcha, we were planning this, and we're going to sell you the same kit twice. But there was red parts on this kit, and those missiles are supposed to be red. It's just like my one little nitpick there, like same here, like the whole feet. They could have added another red runner. It wouldn't have killed them. But you know, I'm not gonna complain over small color inaccuracies like that, you know, because it's not like I'm gonna leave the missile bays open constantly. This is more of an afterthought for me. So, getting the Super Gundam aligned and we get these brought down. Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on. Come on. Simon says stand. Come on, please complete standing up school. This kit now has a lot of heft to it. Now we attempt to take the BFG. You fold this segment down, fold out the handle. Here's where the problems begin. This is a giant overhanded weapon, as in over the shoulder. This thing couldn't even handle its bazooka. So this lovely weapon, which is supposed to be on the right hand, is going to be going in the left hand. Being a lefty myself, I personally think, you know, more power to the lefties, but unfortunately, due to the design of this, that's all you're going to get. And getting him to hold this pose is next to impossible. So, being that as it is, I hope you all enjoyed the review. I hope you all learned some things. I hope you all agree with me on the they're planning something part, because they so are. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, kits you would like me to look at in the future, please leave them down in the comments section below. I love reading them. You guys know I do. I'll get back to you when I can, and I keep forgetting to mention this. I have set up my own Discord group now, so anybody who wants to join, I will leave a link to that group in the description of all future reviews from now on. And anybody who wishes to join, please click that link. You're more than welcome to join if you just want to talk shop, or if you have anything you need help fixing. I have come up with some really insane workarounds. So if you just want to hang out, that too. I mean, I'll always keep you up to date on all the stuff, and if you just want to hang, sweet. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all had a fantastic day. Peace.